Up, my homies? What's up, everybody out there? Welcome to the Arizona Gripers Halloween special. Nice to see everybody. Hopefully, everybody's doing well. Hopefully, everybody's feeling well. Hopefully, all y'all are having a great day. Tonight, I am Arizona Griper Cool Style back from the grave. As you can see, I'm in my cool clubhouse right here with my Halloween stuff and my, hold on a minute, Halloween decorations and all that. I come back from hell to see y'all. Hold on, let me turn my chair around so you could actually see the background. What's up, Diz? How's it going, homie? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? There we are. That's a perfect vision right there. Look at that, huh? Huh? Welcome to my Halloween special, guys. I'm back from hell, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, I got my newly forming horns. You know, I'm still going on this. Thank you. Also got my glowing beard, and I got all shit going on. It is good, yo. You know, been hanging around the homies. You know, drinking some beer. The towering creature with the half mechanical. And hang on a second, Jesus Christ. I'm trying to find some scary music to play. What is up? Thank you, Diz. I appreciate it. Happy Halloween to everybody. Woo! I did message Legsy. Hopefully she'll show up for this. If not, well, it happens. Thank you. Mine's going good myself. Like I said, look at that. I had a great ass background, dude. So what y'all doing? What y'all doing out there tonight? Are you guys getting rotten with candy? I know I am. Oh yeah. I'm the king. King of candy around here. Oh yeah. Anyway, let me get some spooky music going on. Let me see here. Hold on. Spooky music, non-copyrighted. Hold on, we'll just get some music going on.
Spooky music, non-copyrighted.
Let's see what this is about.
I could make a song from your weirdest idea.
Hold on, these idiot commercials.
Pick a genre and mood.
Not much, the same old, same old. Yeah, same here. Smoke up in this bitch. A little bit of smoke never hurt nobody, right? There we go. Just enough to give it that vibe. Tell you what. You know, there's a few things about Old Hallows Eve that most of y'all don't really know. If y'all want to know the true stories about what Hallows Eve is about how it came about. Halloween, as you all know, it was once called All Hallows Eve. And they had a choice between trick or treat. And the local people around neighborhoods and things like that went about and they would get cakes and sweets and all kinds of stuff, right? That's how they got rewarded to leave their houses alone. In fact, let's get the creepy history of Halloween, royalty-free, non-copyrighted.
The creepy history of Halloween, royalty-free, non-copyrighted.
See, here's what it's about.
Have you ever wondered where Halloween truly began? Halloween has its origins in an ancient Celtic festival called Samhain, which started more than 2,000 years ago in what is now Ireland. This festival marked the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter. It was celebrated on the evening of October 31st, right before November 1st. The Celts believed that during this time, the boundary between the living and the spirit world was very thin. They would light big bonfires to keep away evil spirits and wear costumes made from animal heads and skins to pretend to be spirits and protect themselves. People came together to make offerings, share food from the harvest, and do rituals to predict the future. When the Romans came into contact with the Celts, they added...
There you go. All Hallows Eve used to be called Samhain. It's really interesting, you know? Kind of is. You know, there's all kinds of stories, myths and legends that surround Halloween, you know. Lots of creepy things happen.
Strawberry or nut?
You know, a lot of creepy things happen on Halloween. People don't realize that. People don't see it. You know, the dead coming back from the grave. Dia de los Muertos. Day of the Dead. Have you heard of that day before, my friends? Huh? You ever heard of that day before? The one day of the year that makes your skin crawl. That makes literally the hair on the top of your head fall right out of your scalp. Did you ever think about that before? Lots of unexplained mysteries. In fact, now that we're thinking about it, I'd like to tell you guys a story. What's up, Jasper? Happy Halloween to you too, brother. Gangster. You know, I'd like to tell you guys a story that happened 16 years ago to this day.
Going camping this weekend? TikTok Lite lets you
I
watch even
remember it
without
distinctly.
Wi-Fi. Preload when you're still in town.
You know, I remember it distinctly. Hold on. It was on an All Hallows Eve night. Just like this one. It was a little later than usual, you know. The moon was full.
Wait, is that King Kong? And what is that parasite on its belly?
Hold on a
I gotta
minute.
eat it. Whoa, I'm transforming.
There we go. Like I said, it was a lot later. You see, how it started was, you know, my parents, you know, my parents had gone away for, you know, for the weekend. And we had the whole entire place to ourselves. And we decided, why not? Let's go trick-or-treating this year. You know, we ain't done it in a while. Why not? So we went trick-or-treating, you know. Hold on. But anyway, we went trick-or-treating and hit a few houses. You know, maybe 7 houses on the block. And oh, well, thank you. But anyway, we come across this graveyard that was off to the side, right? And Billy had this crazy notion. He said, let's do something crazy on Halloween. Let's make this Halloween the most memorable Halloween we could ever possibly make. So I'm like, well, you know, we've got a whole sack of candy. How are we going to do it? And I'll tell you what. Let's visit up a gravesite. Let's do that. I was like, no, I gotta get home because, you know, got school the next day and yada, yada, yada. No. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. So I was like, okay, fine. So we go out trick-or-treating, and it was about maybe 7:30, close to 8 o'clock. And it was about around 11, close to 12 by the time we got to the gravesite. I look at the front doors. They're iron, solid cast iron bars. They're black cast iron bars. Looks like they've been there a while. But what we didn't see was a little warning label on the top of it. Those who enter never return. And we didn't see. We didn't pay attention because, you know, we was kids. So we go in. Everything seems to be fine. You know, we look at the different grave sites and take a few pictures. These are for the people back home, you know, this and that. You know, we're having a good old time. till we came to a grave that was older than the rest of them. In fact, it looked like it'd been there a while. And it had some kind of funny writing on it. It was written in Latin. And it had some kind of picture glyphs on the side. And we didn't think anything of it because, we were just kids, just messing around, But here's what the dumbest thing old Billy did. He wanted to sit on the top of that grave while I take his picture, right? Happy Halloween. But anyway, he sits on the top of the grave, right? And I'm like, dude, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that. You're going to desecrate something. You're going to mess up something. And he goes, just shut up and take the picture. So I'm like, fine. I took a few shots. Then I looked back on it. None of them turned out. Not a one. They didn't come out. They didn't show up. They all were all blurry. So I tried to take more pictures. And each picture got more and more blurry. But what I didn't see in the background was a little dot about like that in the far right-hand corner. I didn't notice it before. But before, it started getting closer and closer to the back of Billy's head. And the more pictures I took, the closer that dot got. And the closer the camera shot was, where you can actually see a face. Not a clear face, but some kind of a face. And every time I took a shot, it got more and more clear until all you could see is that face taking over the whole entire camera, staring directly at me. And naturally, I'm sweating bullets. I'm like, dude, Billy, we've got to go. Billy, get off that grave. We have to get out of here. Something ain't right. Something's not right. He goes, oh, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Dude, something's not right. So I look away for about 30 seconds. And I didn't hear old Billy screaming. I didn't even hear a peep out of him. I looked back away for like 30 seconds, and I looked back, and he just disappeared. He just vanished. And I thought, well, he's probably playing a trick on me. He's probably going to try and prank me. So I'm looking around the gravesite. I see absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. No sign of Billy anywhere. Oh, by the way, channel announcement. Hit that like and subscribe button if you're new and join the Griper crew. You don't want to miss a good video at 1K subscriber where yours truly, the Arizona Griper, takes the spicy Little Nitro Gummy Bear Challenge. Trust me, I have it with me. And I'm just waiting to go to 1K to do it. So, yeah. But anyway, back to the story. Like I said, I looked around for Billy everywhere that night. and I couldn't find him. And I thought, well, maybe he, you know, maybe he went home. Maybe he just ditched me. So hang on, guys. I'll be right back. I gotta go take a piss. So just kind of man the chat for a little bit. I'll be right back. All right. All right, I'm back. What did I miss? Did I miss anything? Oh, yeah. We're at 830, guys. We're getting there. We are really getting there. Pretty soon, old Arizona Griper is going to look as red as this. But anyway, like I said, I looked around for Billy for hours on end. Couldn't find him. So I figured, maybe he's at his home. Maybe he's just doing something else. So I packed my stuff up. Got a sack full of candy. Pillow sack, of course. So I go home. Nothing seems to change. Everything seems to be normal. So I go to bed and wake up the next morning. And, normal, typical day. I go to school. But I noticed something. I noticed that because Billy and I took the same classes. We took the same classes and everything. But I noticed one thing about Billy. He didn't show up at his class. And that wasn't like him. That was not like him at all. He usually always shows up for his classes. He's always there. He never liked missing a day. He was he never was late. Nothing, because he liked school. Well, every one of his teachers say he didn't show up that day. I'm like, well, he must be sick or something. So on my way home, I stopped at Billy's house. Nobody answers. Nobody answers the door. Nothing. I'm like, well, maybe his mom just don't feel like answering. So I wait a little bit and I call him. And then his mother answers. Frantically, like as if it was a life or death situation. I'm like, hello? And she goes, yes. And I go, is this Billy Bob Thornton's mom? And she goes, yes, it is. Yes, it is. What's going on? Is Billy there? I got a cold response. And then all of a sudden his mom said, he can't come to the phone right now. He's sick. Okay. All right. Well, I just said, tell him I hope he feels better and all that. So that was it for that. Well, this kind of crap went on for about a week. And no Billy. I'm like, dude, I think something happened to him because he hasn't been at school for a week and his parents have been acting awful peculiar, awful weird. They've been really standoffish, don't know what's going on. So finally, I see a police officer. I seen a police officer over there with a cop car, and an investigator came out. And he knocks on the door. And he says, Mrs. Thornton? And she was like, yes. He goes, we happen to have some information about your son. And so they go inside. And she sets the detective down and offers him a cup of coffee or some tea or something. And he says, no, this is not going to be a long visit. And so she sits down and the investigator begins his speech. And he says, well, we're looking into your son's investigation. And this is what they found. They found nothing more than a white bloodstained t-shirt that he wore at school that day. So Mrs. Thornton broke down crying, saying her son's gone and this and that. And it was like that for a while. And I didn't even know what happened to him. And this had been a couple of weeks later. And I'm sitting there playing video games, just minding my own business. And I hear a weird knock at my door. And I go to open the door. Nobody's there. And I hear another knock. And I go and open the door. Billy was standing there with no shirt on, in his shorts, barefoot. And what I thought was really peculiar was a blank stare that he had on his face. It was Billy, but it didn't act like Billy. It didn't even look like Billy at all. It looked like something else. I had a really, creepy vibe about that. And I said, Billy? Billy Thornton, is that you? Your mother has been worried sick. Is that really you? No answer. Just a hard stare. And then, without skipping a beat, he says in a cold voice, "Let me in," as he started shaking. Please, let me in. It's cold out here. Let me in. Please, let me in. At that point, I didn't know what to do. I was froze. I didn't know whether to let him in or to keep him out there. So I did what any other red-blooded individual would do. I freaked and I slammed the door. And I ran up in my room and hid under the covers, praying to God it was going to be over with. But I could still hear the knocking. And Billy saying, let me in. Please. Let me in. Then everything went silent. Then it was the next day when my parents arrived. And I didn't know quite how to explain to them about what had just happened. So I did my usual. I kept my mouth shut, did what I was told, and that's that. But what really bothers me, what really kind of creeps me out, to this day, and I'm 50 years old now. This happened when I was 14 or 15 years old. So you could tell the time gap difference. I always wanted to know what happened to Billy that night. What really happened to him that night. And what that thing was at my door, knocking, wanted to come in. I'm still, to this day, scratching my head, wondering about it. And that's why the moral of the story, ladies and gentlemen, is on All Hallows Eve. Be sure that your windows are tightly secured and and the bolts on your doors are locked tight, because you never know when you might hear old Billy Thornton coming and knocking at your door, asking to be let in. And that's the truth, guys. So there you go. That is a story from Arizona Griper to you. Now, I want to tell you another joke here. This is actually kind of a story. I've told this before, but I'm going to tell it again. You know, I always used to dream about this horrible dog with rabies, and he would just be chasing and chasing and chasing. And no matter how much I ran, he kept gaining on me and gaining on me and gaining on me. Until one day, I tripped and fell. And the dog sank his teeth in the back of my neck right here. See? Look at that. Ah! That was a jump scare. Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one. Happy Halloween. That was a prank, by the way. Anyway, I pulled that jump scare last year. It was, I believe so. But I had to do something, damn it. I know it scares the shit out of my sister every time. Scared the shit out of me. Damn it. Ah. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed tonight's spooky tale. And I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's Arizona Griper Halloween special. This was fun, man. I really enjoyed this. Anyway, guys. Well, how's everybody else doing? Did you guys have a good, happy Halloween? I know I did. Thank you. Thank you very much. Courtesy by yours truly, the dead homie from back from hell. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and head out, guys, because I've got... Oh, you had a chill? Oh, that's good. That's good, dude. Ah. Yep. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. It's been fun. Don't forget to like, subscribe, favorite, and all that jazz. And I'll see you on the next one, folks, on the Arizona Griper. You guys take care. Love you all. Peace. And thank you for watching. Later.